Hi everyone, John here. Want to share with you about my trading routine and just what I go through on a daily basis. First, I go over here, I take a quick look at the different sectors. Going to spin through them real quick. Here we have the financials, currently trading below that 200 moving average. Next we have real estate. Okay, still trading below, but we're putting in a higher low. Retail over here. Communications, this is the strong one. We got that Meta, Google, Netflix in this one. So when we're looking for trades to the long side, we want to find different stocks in this sector. Utilities been trading kind of sideways. Consumer staples, this is Procter & Gamble, Costco. You can see a trading sideways pattern here as well. But Costco, this one broke out of that triangle pattern. Home builders, this one's performing strong. Next we have materials, sideways pattern. Energy, we're trading slightly below that 200 moving average. Let's see if we can get up above. Next we have biotech, oil and gas, very similar to energy. Healthcare, been trading sideways on this one as well. Consumer discretionary, Amazon, HD. This one's performing very well. So if you're going on the long side of things, you want to find stocks in this sector. It's very decisive. And we have tech. And tech's been performing very, very strong. So you got a couple of sectors that are performing well. We have tech, we have consumers, and then we also have communications. So we're going on the long side, because overall we're looking at the markets, right? If we're looking at SPY, SPY is trading above the 200 moving average. How about the diamonds? Diamonds are trading above, right? Russell 2000, Russell's also trading above. This is how you become more selective with your trades and think about what you want to do. Next, I have a scanner. This scanner is from Uncle Ryan AZ. Shout out to Uncle Ryan. I hope it's doing well. Now, he gave me the scanner a couple years ago, and I've been using it. It's been very, very helpful for me. So this is what he uses to find and identify some long setups. Okay, so over here you may have some setups that you can find. Let's take a quick look. So MU, Micron, came on the scan, right? And I've been talking about tech. Tech's been going on the long side of things. So looking at Micron over here, this is where I start to do some work. Now we had a pivot load over here last time, the three price relationship that resolved the sell back to the upside. So that one went well. But what I want to do here, I want to clear out everything, clear out all the drawings. And over here, I want to just start looking at this chart from a new set of eyes. So look over here, we have a series of higher highs and higher lows. Price is getting up above this 200 moving average on the daily chart. Also, it's above that hourly chart. Recently pulled back into the hourly chart, the 1 hour, and use that as support. So what I'm doing here, I want to refine my probability. I want to have a high probability setups. So according to Uncle Ryan AZ, according to the scan, he's looking at this. It's like, okay, we may have something here, but I gotta see it through my set of eyes, which is my three price relationships. So I learned the three price relationships from Carolyn Broden, Fibonacci trading. So I'm looking for pullbacks, right? I like to look at this pullback. How does this pullback compare to other pullbacks in the history of this chart? So what I can do, sometimes I use my Fibonacci extensions and I click it from it once, click from it twice, and then actually walk it backwards. Okay, I walk it backwards. I can see that if I were to use this pullback, pivot high, pivot low, pivot high, it's very similar to this pullback that I'm experiencing right now. How about this one over here? Pivot high, pivot low, pivot high. Okay, that's kind of similar, but it's not an exact hit, right? How about this one over here? Pivot high, pivot low, pivot high. Now this one's a little bit short, right? So this is what we do. We got to hunt down high probability setups. Here we have another one. I don't know if it's going to match up. And over here, we have another pullback, also very similar in dollar amount. So looking for is here, this pullback right here. If I were to measure this from that pivot high to pivot low, It's over $11, $11.36. Over here is over $10, close to $11, okay? And over here, if I were to do a quick pull with my Fibonacci retracements, we do have a 6.8 retracement. So over here, I got a couple of price relationships that kind of matches up with this pocket of potential support. Price is coming into this pocket on the hourly chart. It's also using that 200 moving average as support. All right, on a 15-minute time frame, we do have a trigger to go long. So what you can do here, not financial advice, when market opens, you can consider position sizing going long, not financial advice, but you still got to set your stop loss below this pivot low. And that's what you guys see on a day-to-day basis. But this is what I go through to find high probability setups. What did we go over a couple of days ago? We went over UAL. Okay, UAL back on the 26th of May. So if I were to use an arrow, 26th of May, right here around this juncture, identify a three price relationship. This is a smaller pullback, right? But it did resolve itself back to the upside. Now, position sizing is very important. Over here, I did a put credit spread, right? So what you can do, you can find something that is with the time on your side. So when you're doing a put credit spread, you're selling something, right? Now, you just got to have your result back to the upside and just let it expire. Okay, that's one trade that you can do, a trade idea. Now, if you're on a different platform with Micron, there are different platforms now. You can do fractional shares. You don't always have to deal with options or just buying a call outright. But what we're looking for is a high probability setups overall. We're looking something that in tech, right? Something that is trending back to the upside. We got the energy that is coming in tech. Now, I'm not going to be chasing ones that have already been running off to the upside. For example, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is definitely not something I want to be chasing now. See, there are a lot of people, they're playing here, and they may get another push back to the upside. But that, for me, is not a high probability setup. What I like is ones that are kind of under the radar now, where they've recovered that 200 moving average just for a couple of months, and they haven't had that run right back to the upside, you know, hitting that, jumping $30, $40 at a time. And these are the opportunities you want to look for. And I also like to look for opportunities where it's very, very under the radar. For example, we have Square, right? So what I need Square to do right here is recover this 200 moving average on the daily chart decisively. That's important. What else do we have? We also have PayPal. That's kind of been on my radar as well. It got hammered last year. Nobody was paying attention to this. It's still charting a series of lower lows. Now we do have this line that I drew. What I like to see is for PayPal getting up above this line, getting up above this 200 moving average, pulling back, right? And then continues through a series of higher highs and higher lows. Let's take a quick look. What else did we talk about? Oracle. Oracle also had a very nice setup over here. We talked about it back on the 24th. So on the 24th, let's get an arrow going. It was right here, okay? Over here, I identified that potential setup over here. And the following day, we had a very nice trigger to go long. Now, Oracle is not something I want to go long. Right now, it just had its earnings. It had a nice pop to the upside. Now, there are a lot of people, because it's in the headlines, in the news, they're going to be chasing this. And I'm going to be avoiding this. The play was back here. If you want to go long with Oracle, it was back here, not all the way up here. Now, if you take a quick look at the chart pattern over here, we're on the hourly chart, or the 65-minute chart to be more specific. Over here, it did pull back into this pocket of potential support, but you can see that this 200 moving average on the hourly chart coincided with that three price relationship. Coming back into Micron, we're still staying on this 1 hour chart. It's doing the exact same thing, right? So this is how we find high probability setups, but you gotta still follow up with your correct position sizing, which is fractional shares if you have to, buying the call that is right for your account size, or you're just beginning at this, you're doing a put credit spread, just taking some credit along the way and letting time work for you. Letting time work for you. But whatever you do, you still got to set your stop below this pivot low. So if it goes against you for whatever reason, you just take your trade out. It doesn't matter, right? It's just you just go on to the next trade. What I do is I do the same thing again. I come back to the scan and I look at other stocks, right? We already talked about Intuit. Okay, what a Floor & Decor. So Floor & Decor was also a setup that we talked about a couple of days ago. Is playing out very, very nicely. We got that 3-price relationship came into this pocket. When did we talk about Floor & Decor? Okay, back on May 31st. So if we draw an arrow, let me get back on the daily chart. On the daily chart in Floor & Decor, it was right around here. 31st was right around here, right? And since then, currently taken off to the upside. On the hourly chart, what I like about it is also recover against that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. Now this is definitely not a fast moving stock, right? This one you got to have patience. But back in 2020, this guy was trading around $25. It ran all the way to 145. So now it's pulled back, kind of soloed back in. Now put in a series of higher lows. We found a 3-price relationship. Price is trading up above the 200 moving average. Another nice setup. It just may not have that kind of a quick run up as another tech and stock. Okay, so that's what I go through. There are a lot of sectors I don't know about, so that's for you to decide what type of sectors you want to be trading at. At the beginning of this video, we talked about sectors. Now there are a lot of sectors I don't particularly even look at. Now you have biotech. I don't know a lot about biotech. That's not for me. I don't know a lot about home builders. But that's something that may be for you, right? So you can find a couple of stocks that you follow very, very closely, and you kind of recognize their behaviors, recognize their patterns, and you can do very, very well with them. And you don't have to trade every single sector. You don't have to trade every single stock. So today, I just had these recommendations for you, possible. The first one is Micron. We talked about how this is a tech. Right, we are putting a series of higher lows, higher highs above the 200 moving average on the daily and hourly chart. Price pull back into a 3-price relationship. Using that 200 moving average on the hourly chart as support on a 15-minute time frame, we do have a trigger. What I mean by that is that a moving average cross against that 34 back to the upside. Now this is still before market opens, so when market opens, then you decide if it's still trading and demonstrating strength, then you can position in going long, right? Now the market opens for whatever reason, you have Micron trading down here, then you don't do anything with it. So that's one of the best ways is learning how to avoid trades that we should not be in the first place. Shout out to Uncle Ryan AZ. If you're watching this video, I just want to thank you. Definitely helped me save a lot of time. Guys, everything is about having a funnel, right? You have so many stocks, and this piece of software helped me funnel down potential setups. These are setups that Uncle Ryan looks at. I don't know if he upgraded his algorithm, right? And you guys can just copy and paste this if you want. And but I don't just go with what he's looking at. I filter it again with my setups, with my 3-price relationships. Now this one came up, so docs. So what is docs? I think that's DocuSign. So I know people are using DocuSign. I've used DocuSign in the past. And here we have another chart. Under the radar. Nobody's looking at this right now because it's gotten hammered, right? This thing used to be how big of a stock? It used to be a $300 stock. So after 2020 over here, and since then, huge run to the upside. But then last year, 2022, got hammered, right, back into reality. But here we have again a recapture that 200 moving average. Guys, when you're looking at stocks, what you want to look for is this higher low right here. And it recovered that 200 moving average before a couple of months ago, but it failed, right? But when it starts to do this, it starts to chew its way back to the upside. You want to be paying attention to this. Just saying. Now, I haven't found a 3-price relationship with this, but I'm looking for, okay, I want this guy to get up, right? And preferably clear that last recent high. So I can put it a new higher high, right? Because right now, this is a lower high. If you were to look, comparing this with Micron, Micron is demonstrating a higher high. It recaptured the 200 moving average, and every staircase along the way, every step along the way, I put in a new recent high. That's what I like. Now, I don't know what you like for you, what you like to trade, but if you want to find a high probability setups, you can be a little bit more patient. Be patient and wait until it clears this new recent high. And what it does for you, pulls back into a 3-price relationship, right? And then gives you a trigger to go long on a 15-minute time frame. I'm not a day trader, I'm a swing trader. I'm a lot slower, and I think it's not very popular. People don't like swing trading, not as much as I think. That people like to have that fast day trading. People are doing the 0 day to expiration, and that's not me. So there are a lot of other traders who are very, very good at that. That's just not where I trade. Let's take a quick look at the scan. What else do we have? So looking at the financials, and what you can do here, you can just look at this chart, right? Are they putting in higher top line revenue year over year? How about on a quarterly basis? Over here, they're to put in some positive earnings, so that's good. Now, a company, if they can continue to do this, you know, they don't really screw up with the operations. They can fix this on the bottom. They can definitely fix this on the bottom as long as they can continue to put in the sales. So the numbers you're looking for, if you're looking like spreadsheets, you're looking at this number right here. So year over year, is this number increasing? And over here, right, are they managing their net income? Right? Are they profitable? Right now, they're not profitable, but they are reducing their losses. So that's a good sign. They got to minimize this, increase this. So if they can do that consistently year over year, they'll eventually become a profitable company. Since we looked at DocuSign, let's take a quick look at Micron, see how well they're doing fundamentally. So over here, just look on this tab, doing the same thing. If you want to just look at the chart, all right, we are putting in increasing top line revenue, 30 billion, but earnings over $8 billion. That's amazing. You can see that sometimes just because you have a wonderful year in the fundamentals, you're still getting hammered in the stock. What happened last year? 2022. With all those earnings, bam, got hammered, right? So this is why I'm more of a technical trader. I like to look at technicals and follow technicals. Okay, just finished. So when is earnings coming up? Earnings is coming up. Okay, so here we have on the 28th. Guys, usually what happens, not all the time, okay? We got some strong movements in tech. We may have that push to the upside into earnings with the stock. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm just saying. And hopefully they can put in some really good numbers. But I'm just saying, last year it had great earnings. It just did not reflect in the overall price of the actual stock. Okay, right now we do have some strength coming in tech, so I like to take advantage of that. Some strength coming in the communications. It's not part of the communications sector, but a lot of products in this communications sector rely on Micron. So thank you so much for watching this video. It kind of gives you an idea of what I do on a daily basis to identify high probability setups not just with the scanner, but also using Fibonacci analysis, taking a quick look at the fundamentals. Whatever you do, continue to find high probability setups, position size, and using a lot of patience, right? So let's just say if you're in this trade with United Airlines, you just got to be patient, let those options expire. I think the ones that I have right now, they'll expire in a couple of days, and moving on to the next trade and do this day in and day out, day in and day out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon. Hi everyone, John here. I recently put together a PDF on Fibonacci trading. You guys can check out the link in the descriptions below. I'll put it in the comments. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? We go over setups in cryptocurrencies as well as US equities to help you grow your account. Subscribe now and hit that notification button. We look to hearing from you in the comments area.